What's up, comic book fans? And welcome to Comics Icons. Now, JJ, what they call me. And today, we got more Deadpool with issue number 2 of his new ongoing solo series. And in case you missed the debut issue, then I'll place a card to it at the top of the screen for you right now. And I'll put a link up at the end of the video as well. But it was in that first issue where we got the introduction of Deadpool's newest big bad called Death Grip. And also in that issue, Deadpool got the idea to start him a new mercenary group. And then last but not least, he realized that he wanted to have a better relationship with his daughter, Ellie. So he dropped by on her and gave her a new phone so that she could be able to keep in contact with him. So if you guys are ready to find out if the MERC with a mouth can successfully run a new mercenary business, all while becoming a better father, then you guys know what time it is. Let's get it. So the issue starts off in Eastern Europe, and Deadpool is in the middle of a shootout with a bunch of special forces guys. And Deadpool tells Princess that this highly trained group of military contractors is the only thing standing in the way of them paying off the lease for their new office building. And Princess is just happy to finally have a place to call home again. You hear that, guys? Deadpool yells at the militia group. We're about to be property owners. And then he tosses a grenade into the building and quickly clears it out. Then he radios back to base that he's got the package. And on the other end of the radio call, he gets chastised about all the gas that this trip cost, and it'll end up coming out of his pay. But he cuts off the line. He could care less about what they're talking about. He and Princess are now liquid enough to afford rent on a low-tier office building in a bad neighborhood. Nothing can stop them now. Then we pick up with Ellie and her foster family. And right now they're all hanging out in the kitchen with Ellie's foster mom, Emily, cooking up some breakfast. And Emily is wondering what's bothering Ellie. And initially she says it's nothing, but then her annoying little foster brother TJ tells their mom that she's being weird because she saw her dad the other day. And Emily is actually a friend of Deadpool's, and now she's a little bit disappointed that Wade came by and didn't say hello. She'd take his head off if he wouldn't just grow another, she says. Then she asks Ellie if he gave her that whole "I don't want to ruin you" speech. She's heard him practice it about a dozen times now. Meanwhile, what she doesn't realize and has to be informed by her husband is that she's not fully paying attention, and she's got her hand right on top of the lit stove, and now it's on fire and melting the skin right off. "Oh shoot, you know I lose focus when I'm gossiping, Terry," she replies. See, in case you didn't know, Emily is also a SHIELD agent and an LMD. Long story, but now she's forced to attach a spare hand of hers while this other one repairs. Anyway, though, she tells Ellie that everybody knows that that's Wade's way of asking her to reach out to him. But Ellie doesn't really want to reach out. She wants him to show up again. What good is calling him if he never pops up, she asks. So Emily tells her that she's going to have to be proactive in her own way. My own way, huh? Ellie thinks. And then she gets an idea and runs off. Meanwhile, Deadpool walks through his new office building and he loves it. Although it's disgusting and run down with mice running around. But hey, it was still, Deadpool says. Mainly because it belonged to that portal guy from the last issue, and he won't be coming back for it. But Deadpool's been thinking that it's time for him to get his act together, and getting his head fully into the MERC game would do just that. And just ignore that rat swimming in the water cooler. But then Deadpool's first hire shows up. Taskmaster, and he's brought some help, a guy by the name of Doug Cervanta. And then he tells Doug to do the thing. Meanwhile, as Doug sets up, Deadpool asks Taskmaster where he found Doug, and he tells him that he came highly recommended from some certified dirtbags from Beyond Corp. But Doug has set up an app for them to receive assignments. Then Taskmaster admits that Deadpool must really be in a bad place to call him. And Deadpool's lucky because Taskmaster's laying low right now while things cool down in New York after his Cape Killers were disbanded back in Miles Morales' Spider-Man issue number 19. And I put a link up to that video too at the end so you guys can check that out if you missed it. But Deadpool thinks that they should start off with some lower stakes gigs while he adjusts to the whole small business owner thing. And Doug agrees that that's actually a great idea. With their resources, they probably wouldn't be able to do anything besides security details and debt collection. But then Taskmaster asked Deadpool about that little run-in he had in Montreal with that new player that put a hurt on him. But Deadpool tells him that it was nothing that his healing factor couldn't handle. But he wonders if Taskmaster was able to get any info about the guy. And they couldn't get much, but Taskmaster and Doug, mostly Doug, was able to find out about talk of a crazy group of mystics obsessed with death that call themselves the Touch. And they're ran by an even crazier nut job, Death Grip. He's got a body count almost as high as Deadpool and Taskmaster's. He thinks of death the way an addict thinks about his next hit. They need to conquer it. But Deadpool thinks it'd be best if they start on banking some money first, before they jump into all of that. They'll deal with those guys in issue 3 or 4, Deadpool says. For now, though, it's mission critical to find some easy jobs. And then they get a notification, and it's a job that looks pretty smooth to Deadpool. It's a security mission for one of the world's top micro-celebrities. No death cults would attack that guy, right? Back at Ellie's home, though, she's now started working on her plan to find her dad while her foster brother bugs her. But she's taking one of her mom's hands, and she's trying to splice her Shield GPS link with her dad's cell phone so she can triangulate his location. She figured out how to do it by watching a bunch of videos about it. They didn't make sense to her at first, but after watching a few times, it just clicked. But she's got it figured out, and when she activates it, it works. And now she can track down her pops. And if she's lucky, she might even be able to tap into Shield teleportation tech and just go straight to him. But little TJ doesn't understand why Ellie can't just use the phone to call him like a normal person. But Ellie doesn't want to be the damsel in distress to her own dad. And she's not going to be a daughter that he can just decide to father when it's convenient for him. She's going to be the proactive pain in the ass that she was meant to be. But then she slips up and cuts herself while working on the device. And now she's got a pretty nasty gash on her hand. But even though she's the daughter of Deadpool, I'm guessing this is the first time her powers have kicked in, because she's pretty amazed when she watches as her hand heals itself. She's got his healing factor. But then we pick back up with Deadpool and Taskmaster at their cushy gig guarding their new client at a streaming convention. And right now, Deadpool is kicked back and enjoying how slow things are. This is easy money for him. His client, though, not so much. He'd kill to have somebody stop by his booth right now, but no one really seems to care about him. He thought for sure that having 2 guys with swords and guns would draw a crowd. But just then, shots are fired in the convention, and the crowd begins to run in a panic. Maniac has a huge gun. Said he's gonna bring the whole building down, one of them yells at Deadpool as they haul ass out of there. But Deadpool and Taskmaster, meanwhile, do what they're paid to do, and they stand guard over their client. And Deadpool makes sure to let them know to tell all his viewers how good they're doing and subscribe to their app. But Princess can smell the culprit getting closer and insists that Deadpool get down, and then she forms a giant shield to protect them from all the barrage of gunfire that instantly comes their way. And their client Derek never stopped recording this, by the way. And now as they all duck and find cover, Princess tells Deadpool that the bad man is right behind all the smoke, and she can smell his blood and she wants a taste. Like father, like symbiote wolf daughter, right? Deadpool quips. I can't believe someone would ruin this nice young man's weird influencer convention. But then he gets a response back from the assailant. What can I say, Deadpool? You got a bad habit of bringing out the worst in folks, as Crossbones is revealed to be the shooter and he opens fire again, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the issue. So what did you guys think about the issue? And how about having Deadpool and Taskmaster teaming up as a MERC group? That's pretty cool. Who else do you guys want to see them add to their group? Since that new big bad has him an entire cult, and Deadpool's probably going to need him some more players, I would think. But how you guys liking the series so far? And does it get you more excited about seeing Deadpool on the big screen again in the upcoming Deadpool and Wolverine movie? It kind of does for me. But also, as far as the issue goes, I kind of feel like that group, The Touch, maybe they saw the Deadpool was at the convention, maybe from the guy that was doing the streaming, or maybe even the streaming guy was part of the setup, who knows? I also feel like his daughter Ellie is going to end up teleporting into Deadpool at exactly the wrong time. But maybe the right time from a certain point of view. But I want to hear you guys' best theories. I could be wrong. But as always, if you guys enjoyed this video and this channel, and you'd like to support the channel, then you could do so by stopping by the Comics Icon store and picking you up some of this merchandise, including the background music heard right here in this video, or by joining the Iconic Fan Club channel membership. And there'll be a link in the description to join. But with your membership, you'll gain access to weekly interactive live streams with yours truly, where we could talk about everything that's been going down in these issues, as well as ones that you'd like for me to go over in the future and other comic book news. Plus, you guys will get loyalty badges, member shout-outs, and up to 20% off of Comics Icon's merchandise from the Comics Icon store. And now we've got new tiers to the memberships as well, starting at just 99 cents. Perfect way to help out and support your favorite new channel. Or you guys can donate to the channel with a super thanks. And if you're not able to do any of those, then you can still be a huge, tremendous help to the future of this channel by dropping a like, share, and subscribing to Comics Icons for more icons in the comic book world. But ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. I'm out. Peace.